Hello, Gremlins. I want to talk real quick about generative AI or large language models, which is what they actually are. Uh, quick, um, quick heads up on this: AI isn't actually artificial intelligence, not as we have it right now. It's just a bunch of data with algorithms to manage it. It's like a really high-level explanation right there. So, what am I addressing here? I've been noticing a lot of misinformation and fear around generative AI and the effects it's going to have on careers and what have you. A lot of it is it's just highly misinformed, and it's being driven by uninformed people, trolls, and a certain group of zealous anti-technology, anti-advancement people that just feel threatened by it, and to a degree, understandably so. So I'm going to try to be really quick about this, about what generative AI really is, what the real concerns are surrounding it, and what it is not, and what it is not going to do. So real quick, generative AI, as I said, it's just a large language model. You give it a bunch of data and teach it, train it into how to handle that data and how to present it. That's all it is, right? It is an amazing piece of technology, and it's allowing us to do insane things that some of us were never ever capable of doing before. And for those of us who could already do said things, it's opening up this huge universe of possibility of things that we would never be able to do otherwise. In the case of artists, it allows them to quickly put together concepts and mocks and examples and things, and it just creates certain effects to speed up their artistic process and include things in their art that they would not normally be able to realistically achieve, or that at the very least would take about an exponential amount more effort to do, and with an exponential amount more difficulty than otherwise, right? So what am I saying? AI is just a really advanced tool. No different than, say, a screwdriver, which you use to drive a nail into a piece of wood. Have you ever tried to drive a nail into a piece of wood with using just your finger or your nail? Even if you have achieved that, you're going to be in a shit ton of pain, you're going to need a lot of band-aids, or maybe even have to visit the emergency room. Not very smart, is it? Has a screwdriver eliminated a job before? Which is the next thing I'm going to go. That's the thing that most people yell about. AI is going to take away our jobs. No, it's not. It's going to eliminate this position. Yes, it is. It's going to replace it with a different one. Or more exactly, it's going to take that same position and it's going to elevate it and change it. Much like the Industrial Revolution did with a lot of jobs. Look at the coal industry for a good example. Coal is outdated. The people running that industry are the first ones to tell you it's a dying industry. This is shit. This technology is extremely outdated from decades ago. It is not going anywhere. It's downhill. It's not worth keeping up. And the only people yelling about it are the people that don't know how to do anything else. And understandably, they are afraid of losing their jobs and their livelihood. But there are also people who have convinced themselves that they can't do anything else, that they don't know how to do anything else, and that they cannot learn to do anything else. And there's the point. Most of the people yelling about AI taking away jobs are people that refuse to use it for whatever reason, refuse to put it to give it any kind of credit or treat it like the tool that it is, and that are convinced that their jobs will cease to exist. There are people that don't want to learn how to adapt to the new reality. Will it replace artists? Absolutely not. It is very obvious when you see generative AI art that is done by a machine, that is not done by a human being. There's inconsistencies, there's imperfections, there's stuff that makes it just look plain weird. You can see that it's taking different art styles, different references from existing art and mashing it all together in a very fancy way. It's obvious it wasn't an original work. Very obvious, especially if you know what to look for. So the idea that it's going to replace an artist? No. Will it allow people that don't have artistic ability to get their projects off the ground where normally they wouldn't be able to because they couldn't afford an artist or they didn't have the artistic talent to do so? Yes. That's where it's really being used. Now, the real fear and the real concern is that the way in which, at least in the very beginning, these technologies were being implemented is that the companies developing them put them out there without telling anybody, started gathering a bunch of data from everywhere without consent or compensation, and just started going willy-nilly and scared the crap out of everybody, and rightly so. Can that be corrected? Of course. Adobe's already done it. Adobe's implemented amazing generative AI technology into their product. Nobody's yelling at Adobe. Why? Adobe created a repository where they put their data for their AI. The art that they put in there, if it belongs to another artist, that artist gets compensated for that data, for that art whenever it's used. Problem solved. Your art is going to be compensated for. You're going to get credit for it too. So there you have it. It's a simple solution to a simple problem. At the end of the day, people yelling at AI are yelling at a screwdriver. Why are you yelling at a screwdriver? Yell at the guy that's using it the wrong way. The companies that own these technologies are the ones that you have to take to task to make sure that whatever they use, be it someone's likeness, someone's voice, someone's art, gets used only if the owner of that, the actual person consents to it and is compensated for it. That should be just the base where you start, right? If that is done, why would you think that you, as an actor, as an artist, as a composer, would ever be replaced by a machine? It's not going to happen. By its very nature, this technology doesn't create anything. It takes things that already exist and puts them together in a somewhat creative way, but that is always done based on how it's trained by actual humans. And this is where I come in with the whole thing about it's not eliminating a job. It's not really replacing it. It's evolving it. It's called advancement. Technology advances, society advances, jobs advance, they grow, they require new skill sets for new technologies that allow you to do more, make you better at what you do. That's what a tool is for. So the next time you hear someone yelling about AI, how evil it is, and how it's going to hurt people, stop. Do as I've been asking lately of everybody. Ask very important questions. What is it? How does it work? How is it being implemented? Who owns it? Who's making the decisions? Go after them. Don't yell for the elimination of generative AI. Oh my God, you're taking a huge, amazing tool away from so many people that could benefit from it, including the same artists and composers and actors who could profit immensely if they learn how to use this properly. We already have the ability to create our own in-house generative AI that resides solely in our computer. Doesn't go out to the net, just solely in our computer, that we can leverage to do amazing things. If you pick up that skill set, imagine what you would be capable of. Think about it. This is a tool that was created to do more and to do it better and to enhance and complement human skills that cannot be replaced. Imagine an amazing artist who really knows how to leverage generative AI combined with their own talent. The kind of things that they could create that nobody else could, even with generative AI. Every time I use this on stream, and I've used generative AI on stream to demonstrate to people how it works, the first thing I always tell them, whatever you're using it for, it behooves you to know what you're using the AI for, at least at a basic level, in order to spot the imperfections and the errors. Because AI will make mistakes. It has no context. AI does not, the language models have no context, no ability to understand or interpret context properly. And so if you don't know about the subject or about the thing that you're using the generative AI for, you're going to get a piece of shit. Further proof that it's not going to eliminate the creative industry at all, or the people that work in it. On the contrary, their skills, their knowledge, their experience is going to be that much more valuable in order to make this actually useful. So keep that in mind the next time you hear some zealot or some troll yelling about it, all right? Make yourself informed. Ask the questions. And if you don't know who to turn to, come to me. At the very least, if I don't have the answer, I'll point you in the right direction. And with that, like I always say, be kind and always have fun.